All right, Nick. Top 9. See if we can't find a way to add on some insurance. Those are in the chat that are already asking who's coming into the bottom of the 9th. It is Diaz. There was no question about it. That is not even going to be a thought. So don't worry about that. I do think Sadak brought that up there just for a quick second because he did not think that Wisdom Tooth was going to hit 2 home runs, and that just happened. So, but now with a 3-run game, Nick, there's no way he's not coming in.
Yeah, I mean they're off tomorrow anyways, so
that's right.
Maybe you would try to sneak it out if you had a game tomorrow, day game or something. But yeah, go to them. Don't get cute.
Let's get a couple more runs right here, though. There's no reason not to do that.
And still go to him.
Still go to him. Just
rub it in.
We'll rub it in 1 and 2. Just let him continue to get the work. He hasn't gotten a lot of work lately.
Yeah.
So
but that's good. He's going to be fresh for the playoff run. So playoff push in September. It's a long season. We got to keep him fresh.
Boy, tell you what.
Oh.
Let's find a way to get one more run across here.
There we go. Maybe.
You hate to see that happen to the Cardinals too.
Yeah, they were an out away from a win. I think Jose Ramirez a 2-out walk-off double, I believe it was.
Yes, it was.
You hate to see it. You do hate to see it.
Yeah. Let's see who we got coming up for the Cubs in the bottom of the 9th.
Top of the order, I believe. Why is Wisdom batting 8th? Very curious about that decision. Does not look like an 8-hole hitter to me.
Well, he ran into a couple today. He's got some pop, that's for sure. But whatever the stat was, 56% of the time this year, it's either a home run, a strikeout, or a walk. Pretty wild.
Yeah. All right, is Newman going to keep the perfect day alive? 1 for 1 with 3 walks.
I like for him to do something special here, like hit one out of the ballpark. I'll take a walk.
I don't want to be greedy.
Good timing. Let's see here. Gomez made the last out. So that would be the top of the order. Oh, you're ahead of me.
Cubs gonna Cub.
They're going to call that a hit? They're going to call that an error, right?
Nah, give Newman a hit. Give Newman a hit.
You're like the high school.
Show some respect.
You're like the high school scorekeepers.
That was a tough play.
I always feel like you got one or the other in high school. You either got the guy that doesn't think that hardly anything's a hit, and then you got the guy that thinks everything's a hit. Or girl. Equal opportunity show. Just saying that it very rarely in high school you feel like you got a even-keeled scores keeper. Oh, no.
Called it a single. They called it a single.
That's crazy. I mean, I'm good for Newman, but that's crazy.
So that would be a 2-for-2 3-walk day for Kevin Newman. How about that?
So, I get a text from my mom earlier today, and she's like, hey, do you want to come over and have some dinner? I said, well, I got this show, but I was looking at the time. I'm like, okay, it starts at 2:20. Game be over by, 4:45. It's like, I'll be over there around 6. What are they doing? Guys, these are huge. This is a huge run right here. Need to get it in. Come on. Need to get it in.
Oh, is Jake okay? I didn't see him come up limping until I saw that replay.
Oh, well, you don't lunge for the bag like that. That's a cardinal rule of thumb. You cannot.
Oh, look who's coming up! Look who's coming up! He's alive. Who's he hitting for?
Unbelievable.
He's
Sitting for Barrero. I don't hate that.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get Benson on second base, so.
Why stop, Senzi? Just stay there. Just stay there. Stay there.
What on earth? He
never touched the bag, though. He touched him first. He was never on the bag. This has to be reviewed. If they were both on the base,
yeah, he touched.
If they were both on the base, then that's one thing. But Senzel never touched the base. I want to see Senzel's foot.
I guess
Senzel can't go back to the base. You heard me say it. What are you doing? If you're going on contact, that's what you do. But I want to know if Senzel was on the base because I don't know if he was. If Senzel was on the base when he got tagged, then he was out. Period. That's just not doing baseball. I hate to be like that, but that's just being no baseball IQ. However, it looked to me like Senzel never actually touched the base when he got tagged out originally. So then he would have been out immediately. I need some more replay there, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought he was. I thought it was before he got back. Oof. Okay, good. I did just see Reed with a tweet, so just glad he's.
He's holding out hope right here. There's no doubt about it.
Glad he's still lurking,
And that's a situation too where the contact play we talked about it the other day. That's a good spot for the contact play. You're just trying to get one more run in. It's not like it's do or die. You don't. I mean, you'd like to have them both, but you don't need them both. Go on contact and try to make a play at the plate. And you know what? I get Nick Senzel. He's had some injury problems in the past. If he does not want to go in there, bang, bang, and he knows he's going to be out, then just stop. You're out. Just stop. There's no reason to walk all the way back to the base.
Well, he was trying to make sure Benson could get to second base.
That's what he was trying to do, but you don't go back and touch the base.
He's got to stop before he gets there.
Yeah, and or just stay on the damn base. One of the two. You can't have it both ways. I would challenge it. What are we showing replays of McLean for right now? Just because.
4 hits. Yeah. Don't want to show
Is
that
he at the
replay again. No, the inning's over. That was it. We're in the bottom of the ninth. Folks, if you would like the Reds to win,
likes. We need some likes. Tell them, Nick. Get on them.
Likes equals wins. If we do not get about 10 more likes here in the next 5 minutes, the Reds will lose. It's just how baseball works. I don't make the rules. So like the stream or we're going to lose. All right, Lex Diaz. Nail it down. Ohio Lakers, Benson is in left. That is interesting. Benson in left and Friedel in center. I think we were a little surprised about that on the beginning of the season. We thought Benson would be the center fielder over Friedel, but it was the other way around.
I think you're ahead of me, Nick.
I'm on a 1-2 count.
Definitely ahead of me. I don't know what's going on lately. Sir Boy, thank you for the super chat if no one said that already. It is
Appreciate you,
DS
Sir
time.
Boy.
It is DS time, Sir Boy. Hell yeah, John. If you're at the game, you're ahead of everybody. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, sit down, son.
Nice. Way to good swing. That's a good swing. Those are the types of pitches that you do a lot with.
Yeah. Love those kind of swings when you're down 3.
Ronnie, I'm starting to feel that way too. I gotta be honest. I was trying to think of a clever tweet today for about 20 minutes on Barrero and then just gave up.
Hey, how about that? We jumped up to 20 likes on the stream.
That's right.
From
Listen,
5.
we can
you
get
guys
up.
Are, you guys are the best.
Likes are gonna they equal outs. Come on. We need 2 more of them. Let's go. Yeah. RM's telling us that he was on the base. I don't know, RM. I thought that Senzel got tagged out before. Oh, they're trying to say that he's... What kind of sorcery is this?
Pitch calm.
I thought that not David Bell. I thought Ross was asking them to go check him.
Newman gave a pitch calm. What a leader. Just what a leader, Kevin Newman. Said, Alexis, I'll give you my pitch calm. I'm a veteran. I don't need this thing. I'm ready for you.
The likes never are to blame. What the hell's going on? Golly dang. Can we play baseball?
Nice cut, Dansby. Bitch about hit him. You're down 3 runs, dude. What are you doing? Dude, they want to get out of there. They're like, we've gotten our ass kicked so bad by these guys over the last 3 games. I'm just going to swing at anything.
Oh, man.
They're embarrassed. You want to get out of there.
Pack it tight, Ronnie. Pack it tight, brother. Come on. Give me this out right here. Throw that little slider. Let it start right down the middle and just go whoop, whoop. What are you doing, Spear? What the fuck are you doing? You got a second baseman 2 times today. 2 steps. If you can't get the ball, you go to first. Good God. All right, I'm back.
You all right there?
Well, what are we doing?
I don't know what Diaz was doing either. That was just...
Golly day, man. Maybe we shouldn't put Steer at second base to begin the at-bat anyways. Oh, let's make excuses for him. Oh, he's learning all this stupid stuff. No, we don't do that on this team.
What you talking about how great he looked at first base yesterday?
Yeah, but I'm not going to make excuses for him when he isn't. He does look great. He just made the play. He just got to realize that, you take 2 steps, you can't get to it, you bust your butt. In fact, if you're that far over, I just don't like playing guys that far over first base. They got to get back and cover the bag on a ground ball. All right,
Trace, I'm really nervous about this pennant chase for you. What?
No, listen.
I'm worried about mid-September.
This game means more to me than. I tell you what. It sounds sad to say. I know it makes no sense. If we win this game, it means more to me than if we lose 2 more in a row. We're not going to, but I'm just saying. We're not losing this game. This game means a lot. Because if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. Defensive alignment.
Sit down.
All right, Diaz. Thank you for calming me down. Golly day. Come on. By the way, it's a kid's show. My apologies, chat.
It won't be in the podcast tomorrow.
Yeah, well. We got a PG-13 rating. That's a strike. Okay. Come on. I got to keep my eyes off the chat. I feel like they're ahead of me. It's a kid show. Got to keep it clean. Until Spencer Steer runs halfway across the diamond again, tries to catch a ground ball. Looking like that kid from, what was the movie, Bad News Bears, or what's the center fielder's name? Chat's going to know that one. Chat's going to know that one. Who was the kid that just ran all over the diamond, caught the ball for basically caught the ball for everybody?
Sir Boy, you're just like so
Come
far
on.
ahead of us.
I hope he's right though. I seen it. I seen it. You're going to be
leaking news.
Yeah, Sir Boy leaks. I don't care though. I need it. Oh, he can't be. He's not this far ahead, is he?
I don't know. I just saw another pitch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no way. There's no way he's that far ahead.
Someone else.
Yeah, I know.
I'm riding this out.
Me too. Oh, man.
I got another pitch.
What?
What's going on?
What's happening? How are you this far ahead of me, chat? Chat, if you're lying. If you're lying, chat. Oh, wait, I got some major problems for you.
They're trying to pull it over us, honestly.
Oh, dude.
Final before it
There's no way.
Reed hacked this. There it is. There it is. There it is.
Let's go. Oh, let's.
High drive, left center field, racing back to the world bourgeois. The Reds are National League Central Division champions. In the air, left center field. Did he? He did. He did. Reds win. Line to right field. Genius, the first Red ever with 4 home runs in a game. Can you believe it? In the air, down the right field line. Doesn't have a chance. The Reds have won a 3-run home run on opening day by Ramon Hernandez. A strike away and out away is Homer Bailey. Ground ball to third. Frazier gloves. Throw to first and Homer Bailey, for the second time in his major league career, has tossed a no-hitter. Oh, gosh. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Holy Moses, the second player in major league history to hit 7 home runs in the first 10 games. In the air, and the Reds win. What a dream beginning to the career of Jay Bruce.
I'll tell you what. Don't let us get hot. Don't let us get hot, chat. Just forewarning. Nick Kirby, sweep. How sweep it is. 8-5.
I need you to cue that. I need you to cue up that MP3, Trace.
Oh, yeah. I have it ready to go. This is for our one and only, the Closet Reds fan, Reed Mouse. Oh, ready? Hold on. I got it, Nick, right here. Here it comes. The audio is muted on it. This time it's not. This is for you, Reed.
What happened?
Nick, what happened?
Well, what happened was the Cincinnati Reds just swept the Chicago Cubs. Reds 17-14 their last 31 games. How about that, Trace Fowler?
Good. I seen it coming a mile away.
Cubs
I don't
had no
even know
chance.
how to act right now. I can't believe this. That's just unbelievable.
How many runs did the Reds score in that series?
1 million.
22 in a 3-game series.
Can we talk about how a pitch clock baseball game just went 3 hours?
This was like a normal baseball game like last year, and it felt like an eternity today.
Well, that's what happens when the bullpen can't get outs from the Cubs. Anyways. All right, we do one thing always. If you're just now tuning in, thank you for watching the show. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. The initial people that came in, just so you know, they closed down the 9th inning. I know Diaz is going to get all the credit, but they're the ones that actually deserve a lot of the credit because they pounded the like button, and that's how this worked. The more likes on the stream, it's been scientifically proven that that's how many more chances that the Reds have to win the very next game. So it's in your hands, chat. Nick, there's a box score recap that we do on every single show. I'm sure that you have one prepared, and it's probably relatively lengthy because when the Reds score a lot of runs, it usually goes longer. But I'll let you get to it.
Well, OJ's 94 Bronco just reported the Reds had 45 hits in this series. 45 hits in 3 games.
Yeah,
Oh,
is
that's
that good?
stuff. I think that's good. I think that is good.
Hmm.
All right, box score recap. Both teams were scoreless in the first inning. Graham Ashcraft mowed the Cubs down in order. Top of the second, Stuart Fairchild had a double with 1 out on a ball that Ian Happ dove for, came up empty. Fairchild stole second. Really was off the pitcher, Drew Smiley, so good heads-up base running from Fairchild. Then Senzel capitalized with the drawn-in infield with a single, put the Reds up 1-0. And Kevin Newman, great piece of hitting on a 3-2 hit and run, driving a sinker up in the zone the other way, put runners on the quarter, and then a weak ground out from Jake Fraley made it 2-0. Bottom second, Graham Ashcraft, he was a pitch away from straining 2 runners on base, but he left a 3-2 cutter over the middle of the plate to Patrick Wisdom, and Patrick hit it 424 feet. It was 3-2 Cubs. But those Reds, they don't let a deficit bring them down. Right back at it, back-to-back doubles from India McLean, tied it at 3 in the third. We go to the 5th. Cubs manager David Ross pulled his starting pitcher Drew Smiley with 2 on and 2 outs. David Bell pinch hit TJ Friedel for Stuart Fairchild, and Friedel repaid him. What happened? By smoking a double down the right field line, put the Reds up 4-3. Senzel then walked, and then Kevin Newman had a 13-pitch bases-loaded walk to make it 5-3. Graham Ashcraft, to his credit, he was able to dance around a bunch of base runners. He got through 5 innings, only allowed the 3 runs that he did on the Patrick Wisdom home run in the 2nd inning. Top of the 6th, Spencer Steer hit a 2-run home run. His
Hold on,
7th
Nick.
of the
What?
season.
Hold on, Nick. I have another. What?
What happened?
What'd you say again?
Spencer Steer hit a 2-run home run. His 7th of the season.
Is he a rookie?
7-3. He's a rookie.
Interesting.
Top of the 7th, Nick Senzel RBI double made it 8-3. The Cubs, they got 2 runs back, but wasn't nearly enough. Cincinnati Reds win 8-5. Reds' first sweep of the Cubs at Wrigley since 2013. Reds 17-14 in their last 31 games. Reds remain 4 back in the National League Central as the Brewers did win today, but it looks like the Reds will be 2.5 games out of a playoff spot at the end of the day because the 3 teams, they'll be 2.5 back at the end of the day. I'll leave it at that.
That's right.
And Reds are sole possession of 3rd place, game ahead of the Cardinals, and a game and a half ahead of the Cubs.
Hey, just quick question for you. Do you know where the Cubs are in the National League standings?
I believe they have the worst record in the league.
What happened? Gotcha. I was curious. I don't know where you want to start, Nick. This is one of those days where pretty much everybody outside of Barrero, I feel like, had a great day. That seems to have happened a few times in regards to Barrero. But nonetheless, Matt McLain is on the rundown first, so we probably should focus on him. It's his first 4-hit game as a big leaguer, and there's going to be a lot of firsts for Matt McLain. Hopefully we kind of buzz through these relatively quickly because it doesn't seem like he's going to slow down anytime soon. But you do feel like there's this thing that everybody always says, and you said it when he was at AAA. It's like, well, I mean, this guy's got to slow down at some point, right? He's gonna regress. He's gonna come back down to earth. I don't know. I mean, there's a chance he might hit 380 for his career as a big leaguer. What do you think, Nick?
Had a great day today, 4 for 5. His only out was had an expected batting average of 910. Was a line out.
Was a good.
He did also have a very weak single, but his speed got him on base. He's a ball player. He's off to an incredible start. OPS is at 1,056 at the moment. I think that's pretty good, Trace.
Yeah, that usually does it. Yeah, there's so many things that he does well. He made a good play in the field as well in a big spot. There was a ball that was like kind of softly hit, a little choppered, and he came up, made a good play on it, and got him out of the inning. And those are the small things that you forget about in a game that has a bunch of things that happen. But that was a big play. So, his defense has been right there on par with his offense as well. He's kind of been the glue, if you will, that we've needed at that position. We were searching for somebody for quite some time, the whole year basically, until he came up. And so far, I don't know how long he's going to play there, but until someone comes and moves him out of there, he has, without question, been a bright spot at that position, specifically on the defensive side. Offensively, he's been incredible. You've already highlighted that. But the other thing that maybe I didn't give enough credit for, that I knew, or at least I kind of had a feeling of, was just the baseball IQ coupled with just being a gritty dirtbag type player. He just the pure example of him getting on base today, finding a way to not only get to second, and he didn't stop on the pickoff, right? A lot of guys would try to, they might freeze or hesitate for half a second. If you're going on first movement when the left-hander's up, you're taught that no matter what happens, you're going to try to beat the ball to second base, whether the catcher's throwing it down there on a pitch or whether the first baseman has to come off their bag on a pickoff attempt and throw it to second. Either way, you got to try to beat the play down there. And McLain got a stolen base based off the fact that they picked over. He beat the throw to second base. The error allowed him to get to third. And although I think Steer came up and he didn't quite get him in, that was at the inning that I think Friedel ended up driving him in. But nonetheless, he scored. But those are the types of things. Those are winning plays. And the last thing I'll say about this, Nick, is I think that kind of breeds a style of play and confidence in a little bit of a fun atmosphere. Like, these young guys are just having fun and they're playing. And don't let anyone tell them like how bad they're supposed to be, because it doesn't seem like they care. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this team. And Chris brought that up. Welsh brought that up during the broadcast.
Yeah, playing well, and it goes right into the next one. Spencer Steer. I mean, these guys might both end up in the as National League Rookie of the Year finalists. The way they're playing right now, Spencer Steer's just feels like he's getting better every game. Started off really hot, then got really cold. I think it had a lot to do with him when he got hit by that pitch. But ever since he kind of figured it back after kind of recovering from that like slight injury that he had, he's just been incredible. I feel like the expectations for guys like Steer just keep going up as each game passes, and that's a lot of fun as a Reds fan to have guys like that.
Yeah, I mean, Spencer Steer, I don't know. Do we have the odds, Betfred Sportsbook odds, current live odds, or at least give me some general ballpark? Where are we at with this? Because Spencer Steer should be near the top of the list, if not one of the top guys. I mean, top 2, top 3 guys. Where's he at? Do you have
I
that?
checked it. Unfortunately, Betfair doesn't have it, but another betting partner
Sure.
that you would never want to use, obviously.
Right.
They actually had Spencer Steer and Matt McLean both at plus 3,000. I think they were like 4th and 5th best odds.
Interesting.
So, but yeah, they were dead even. I did find that very interesting. But yeah, I mean, they legitimately both might end up at the end. It's in a long season, a lot can change,
Of course.
good or bad. But I don't think you could be any happier with where either one of those guys are playing right now and how good they've performed in the first 2 months of the season. McLean, AAA, and in the big leagues.
For us casuals that obviously don't know every single thing that happens in regards to the draft and how that correlates with compensatory picks, if McLean and or Steer were to be Rookie of the Year or runners up, I believe the Reds do get some compensation for that. I do believe, correct?
Yeah, I had it. It's so complicated. I can't remember the exact.
All right. Well, nonetheless,
thing.
we
But you can also lose a year of service time as well. It's you get a draft pick, but you lose a year of service time. So it's a double-edged sword there.
It is, but I would be interested to know. I'll have to look into that and see what kind of pick you're getting. If it's a high-end pick, then it almost seems like that might be worth it. Anything left to add from Steer's standpoint? I was a little upset at obviously him taking like 19 steps, or maybe not 19, but more like 7 steps to try to field a baseball at the end of the game and kind of have a pretty good feelings for where he's at on the diamond. But I guess that just comes with not playing first base a whole lot. If you didn't see it and you're listening to this in podcast form, there was a ground ball hit basically directly to Kevin Newman at second base, and Spencer Steer was shifted towards second base on the shift. He sprinted after that ball, backhands it right in front of Newman, and then he has I don't know, Nick, he probably had like a 65-foot, 70-foot throw to try to hit Diaz on the run to first base. Just not a good baseball play. But nonetheless, I'm past it. All is well in the world. Diaz picked him up. I've moved on. Wasn't happy when I seen it live, but that's here nor there. He's gonna let me go on that one. TJ Friedel? You want to talk about TJ Friedel? You want to talk about Nick?
TJ Friedel, man, he's just
he the best player on our team?
I think so. I don't know. Matt McLean, though, might have a word on that. He's definitely been the most consistent. Man, this guy, just whatever spot they put him in, he continues to succeed. And he's another guy that I just keep the ceiling, the bar for him just keeps going up. I don't know. Our guy Shea asked me for a comp on him, and so I kind of was, playing around searching for some previous left-handed outfielders, and a guy that came to mind was Jacoby Ellsbury as maybe that type of player. But TJ Friedel, man, I just really excited about him. I don't say he's played well.
Good baseball teams have a good center fielder, a good shortstop, and usually a good catcher. And we've gotten production out of those 3 spots in the past 2 weeks. So hopefully that continues. Did you like the idea? I mean, where are we at with this whole Barrero situation? Because Barrero playing center field, I don't think is the best. It's just not. I don't think it's a long-term solution. I guess in a little bit of a negative way. I don't. It feels like we're just trying we're trying like hell to save Barrero a chance from going back down to AAA. And the truth is that again, if he can't hit good enough to be an infielder, and right now, Nick, not to be too pessimistic on Barrero, but it's hard for me to envision a spot for him in the infield with the way in which we're handling the India situation. And if that's the way we're going to handle it, okay, I'm just gonna take it for what it is and move forward. I don't want Barrero taking up any more at bats from Friedel and any more kind of what I would call opportunities from even like a Stuart Fairchild. I know that people might crush me for that, but I'd rather have Stuart Fairchild in there against a left-handed pitcher. Senzel's got to play somewhere because Ellie De La Cruz is coming. And I don't know your overall thoughts, final thoughts, because TJ Friedl kind of seems like he should be an everyday player now if he's not already. And your overall thoughts on Barrero and his opportunities that are left. How close is he? Your leash on him?
Well, I mean, right now he's just playing center field as a spot to play him. TJ Friedl was specifically not playing today because he was coming back from injury, which just makes what he's done this week all the more impressive. Came back from that oblique injury, didn't go on a rehab assignment, just jumped right back in and has not missed a beat. So if TJ Friedl was healthy, I think he's playing right field and Jake Fraley's on the bench. Against a lefty, I just don't think Jake Fraley's going to play against lefties, and I don't think he should. So
I agree with you.
I guess that kind of solves it for right now. But I mean, yeah, once you call up Ellie and once you call up CES, then I don't even know if there's a spot for Nick Senzel at third base either. So it's not just Jose Barrero. You're also going to have that, but I really would be curious to know what the conversations behind the scenes are, because I think there's a lot more moving parts here than maybe we're aware of with kind of options that they're looking at as we get closer to the trade deadline. It's only about a little over a month away. Or no, a little over 2 months away.
Sorry, man. Jack got me. Can't even comment on it, actually. Moving on. As far as Barrero goes, my final thoughts are this. I've seen enough personally. I'm usually a guy that tries to give people leashes as long as I can give them one and be patient. I think that if you listen to this podcast from day one, I was a Barrero. I don't want to say I was a Barrero fan, but I think I defended Barrero is what I'm getting at. I felt like he was a guy that deserved opportunities. He deserved opportunities. He's gotten opportunities. It's not blossomed in the way in which it needs to blossom for him to continue to keep getting opportunities. I've said it once. I've said it 1,000 times. You can go to AAA. That's not a huge deal. You can go get at bats on an everyday basis, get your feet back underneath you, and maybe there's a spot where injuries do occur, like you've said many times, Nick, and maybe something happens to where he needs to come back up and he gets a new opportunity, a new lease, and boom, from there on out, it's a TJ Friedl situation. Not suggesting that's what it has to be every single time. We don't want to root for that. I hope McLean never has to go back down to AAA or any of these guys do, but sometimes you got to face the facts, and Barrero is just not cutting it at the big league level. And we're in a position now where I'm not suggesting you would lose a clubhouse, Nick, but I do think that you need to keep an eye on that. You need to keep somewhat of an expectation of, listen, these guys are looking at the standings at this point. They're keeping an eye on what exactly is going on around them. We're not really in a position just to keep running guys out there just because they, quote unquote, are young and they somehow should deserve to get more at bats or more opportunities. And the reason I don't think that they should anymore is because the young guys that have been brought up they've not been the weakest link. So it's like, it's one thing to have retreads that we've talked about before, whether it be Will Myers or, heaven forbid, Kevin Newman. I have my apologies to Kevin and his family, by the way. I really do want to sincerely say that from the bottom of my heart. I thank you for your service this past week and a half for the Cincinnati Reds. It's been tremendous. I hope it continues, and I hope at the trade deadline we find a greener pasture for Kevin Newman. However, getting back to my original point on this whole bring him up, bring him down, there's a lot of outfielders, Nick, that deserve opportunities in the outfield that are not Jose Barrero, is what I'm getting at. And you can go to the AAA level, and you can pick at least one.
Well, I got a thought here on Barrero. It's kind of what we've been talking about, where the Reds are kind of in a weird spot here. Are they in, or are they? This is a development season, and right now it looks like you're about to be 2.5 games out of a playoff spot. So it's kind of hard to say, well, it's a development season. If that was the case, then sure, just run Barrero out there just as a way to get him at bats, a way to keep position flexibility for the future. But if you are in a race, I mean, a guy like Will Benson's a better option in center field just because he's going to be a better defensive player. Yeah. Or if TJ Friedl in center field and Benson in left is a significantly better defense, just because of Barrero's inexperience more than anything. So that's where it's kind of becoming a weird situation. And I just think that Barrero's on borrowed time. I think that Ellie comes up and swaps him. And then I think Barrero goes down to AAA. He has a spot to play at shortstop there every day. Hopefully Barrero can be super hot, because there will be an injury at some point. I promise it's going to happen. I don't want it to happen, but it's going to happen. The weird thing with the Reds injuries is it's only been like first base and DH, the easiest spots to fill with your current roster. They haven't had a tough injury yet. None of the Reds injuries, Joey Votto and Will Myers, their spots are easy to replace because of what position they play. Shortstop is obviously a lot harder, center field's a lot harder. So, I think Ellie's going to replace him, and it's probably going to be in the near future.
All right. You brought up one last final good point that I want to key on, is that more than anything with Barrero, it's one thing at the plate. It's a whole other thing in center field. I don't think that, it's relatively new to him, and I don't think he's all that great of a center fielder, if we're being quite frank. So I think it's just about time to move on. Graham Ashcraft, kind of concerning, if we're being honest. A little concerning, Nick. I'm not suggesting that hell's freezing over, but there is some merit to this sinker talk. He's not throwing it, and his two pitches that he's trying to get guys out with have similar tendencies, the slider and the cutter. He did battle through it. Fred mentioned in the chat it was nice to see Nick Senzel kind of pick up Ashcraft in the dugout. I don't know what your overall thoughts on all that are, if you think that there's merit to that or not, but your overall thoughts on Graham Ashcraft. I'm not. I guess I'm semi-concerned.
Run through that situation within the dugout, because I didn't see that.
Well, Ashcraft came off the field, and I'm sure he was relatively. This is just hypothetically speaking, of course. This is all opinion based. We're all speculating, to be clear here. But he came in the dugout, obviously a little frustrated, and it looked like Senzel was just trying to kind of pep him up, like kind of keep his spirits high, something along those lines. Don't know exactly what was said clearly, but you could just tell that he was kind of getting a little bit of a pep talk from Nick Senzel.
Okay, well, I missed that, unfortunately, but I mean, I guess on one hand, I didn't feel like Graham Ashcraft was very good today. I felt like he was pretty rough, and honestly was pretty fortunate to get out with 3 earned runs. But the other hand, like, it was nice to see him have a positive start. I don't think Graham Ashcraft is at least going to bed tonight feeling miserable like he probably was the last couple times he went out. So, it's hopefully just something that he can build off, even if it was kind of a little bit of luck or good fortune for him. He did miss some bats today, which he also, gave up some really hard contact as well, but he did get 6 strikeouts. So, some of that was probably the Cubs too. So I don't know. He's got to pitch a little bit better. I think that like our guy Reds in 4 pointing out about the sinker, I think he's got to figure it out. And hopefully sooner than later. Reds got a tough schedule coming up. He's going to face some really good lineups. So he's going to have to figure it out in a hurry, or the Reds are going to have an interesting situation with him.
Yeah, is it wild to say, chat, and is it wild to say to the folks that listen to this podcast in the morning that the one thing that probably might hinder this team from being able to really make a sincere push towards meaningful baseball late into the season is starting pitching right now? If you came and told us that at the beginning of the year, we would have laughed at you, and we would have said that that's probably the only thing that we can probably rest assured when we lay our heads down tonight as Reds fans that we can actually believe in, that we have a good starting pitching, at least the top 3 guys, and then we were hoping that, the other 2, Overton and Sessa, remember those guys? Maybe they were going to figure it out, but we've moved on. Luke Weaver's doing all right, and I don't know whether we do Lively or Williamson. We've kind of pieced it together here where we might have an optimal 4th or 5th starter here, hopefully when Lodolo comes back. But Lodolo's injury is relatively concerning, but I think it's safe to say at this point, Nick, you can correct me if I'm wrong, the starting pitching is probably the biggest glaring weakness that this team might have trying to push through the season.
Yeah, I was thinking this halfway through the game today. I mean, if you would have told me that Graham Ashcraft would have an ERA in the mid-5s, Nick Lodolo would have an ERA in the 6s and only made 7 starts because he's been hurt. Hunter Green's, okay, 4.18 ERA. but hasn't been elite or anything. I would have probably thought the Reds were 20 games under 500 at this point. Like, I would have thought this season has completely gone off the rails. And I could imagine probably most people in the chat right now, most people that are Reds fans, would have thought the same thing back on opening day. So that is a testament to the bullpen, which has kept this team in so many games this year, and two, the top of the Reds order has been really, really good. As much as we complain about the lack of power in the lineup, the top of this order, Jonathan India, TJ Friedel, Spencer Steer, the new Matt McLean, they have been as good as you could have asked for, and that and the bullpen has kept this team floating. It's about to be June, and the Reds are in a playoff conversation still, and that is awesome.
Right. Any updates? Brian in the chat asked, any updates on Derek Law? I have actually not been paying close attention to that situation. Have you, Nick, at all?
I don't have anything, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, it's all good. All right. Final things before I dunk a basketball, or at least I'm going to attempt to dunk it, is we have an off day tomorrow, which means that we will probably not be on the airwaves. Your overall kind of thoughts and or plans until our next go-around?
Yeah, probably just going to shut her down tomorrow, enjoy the holiday, and we'll be back on Tuesday. I don't know. You never know. Sometimes it's 11 o'clock at night and the spirit
if
moves.
They call up Ellie, if they call up Ellie De La Cruz, we'll be on tomorrow.
We'll be live wherever we're at.
Right.
We'll figure that out.
Right.
Reds MILB is tonight. Nothing was in action today. The Tortugas just started, but if you're watching, there's the screen. I will update that in the podcast tomorrow and let you know what happened in those games. So, yeah, bats at 6:30, Lookout 7:30, Joe Boyle on the mound for the Lookouts, and then the Dayton Dragons at 7. So you got your Memorial Day weekend Sunday evening to watch some Reds minor league baseball tonight.
I bet that's what they will all be doing. Next time we're in action at the Big League Club is when, where, and who is throwing, Nick Kirby.
Yeah, Reds at Fenway Park. If there's anyone in the chat or anyone that's watching or listening to the podcast, let us know if you're going to be at Fenway. It is an awesome, awesome experience, and tell us what your thoughts were on that. Ben Lively, can you keep the magic going? Looking forward to that. And then Brian Bello is a guy that has been pitching very, very well for the Red Sox. Red Sox entered the 28-24. But Bello was a top 25 prospect. Was called up last year. Struggled his first 2 starts, but he has been absolutely dominant since. So it'll be a big challenge for the Reds. Reds did face him September 20th last year at Great American Ballpark. 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 1 run. TJ Friedel hit a home run off him. So Tuesday night, 7:10. How excited are you for a 7:10 game, Trace?
I love 7:10 games. They're the best. I wish they never went away, but that's here nor there. It's time to dunk a basketball. And as I say all the time, if you haven't already, please download, rate, and review our Chatterbox Reds show. Pass it along. Get as many people on this bandwagon as we possibly can. And you know what? Just remember, there's a lot of OGs out there that have been watching this team for a really long time. At the depths of hell this team has been, you've been there to support them. There's going to come a day, and it's coming sooner than later, that there's going to be people that want to come up onto this bandwagon. They're going to want to be quote-unquote front runners, as many would say. Let me tell you something. We're going to welcome them with open arms. We're not going to be these bitter old men that want to say, oh, no, you didn't want to be here before. We'll welcome them back. You know? Every church needs the C&E crowd, all right? Every church needs the Easter crowd. Every church needs the Christmas crowd. And you know what? We'll allow them right back in, right? So this dunk is for all the folks that are starting to think to themselves, maybe, just maybe, that this Reds team might be a little better than I thought. Maybe, just maybe, Nick Krall might know what he's doing. Maybe, just maybe, the Reds are going to be back on top very, very soon. This dunk is for all the front runners. And Kevin Newman, of course. If you thought I wasn't going to play that outro music, you're wrong. This is that time of the show. That time of the show. It's that time of the show. Mom, coming over for dinner very soon.